Alright folks, we're back, and we finally have this Overwatch draft thing working. I guess there's some issues with the website, but here we go. You can watch the vetoes happen in real time. Wowzers! How cool is that? So, quick note, right off the bat, we don't have all the control point maps removed immediately. That's not to say they won't be removed next, but you'll notice, like, we still have Ilios and Lijiang Tower and Nepal still in this.
So excited. It might happen.
I personally really love Control Point. I personally love King of the Hill, so I'd be very excited to see if those make it through. But they could still get axed. There's Ilios, Rip, and Pepperonis. I mean, Hollywood, Kings Row, and Numbani are probably the three that get through this, if I had to guess. What are your guesses? Quick, before the next veto happens.
Hollywood, Kings Row, Watch Point.
Watch Point Gibraltar gets vetoed next. Way to go, Zombie Grub.
I feel like that was going to happen no matter what I said. So I just chose not the King of the Hills.
So they are starting with the King of the Hill ones. One control point map remains. Nepal will make it into the map pool, interestingly enough.
At least it's one, yes.
So we are going to see Hollywood. Kings Row gets vetoed, too. That's certainly odd. So it's going to be Numbani will not be the first map. Comes down to Nepal or Hollywood. Interesting. Come on, Nepal. Come on. Come on, baby. You know you won. Oh, what am I doing? There we go. It's going to be Nepal first. Awesome.
Yo.
I love this map. I love observing these a lot more than payloads. But okay, it's going to be King of the Hill. It's going to be Nepal. It'll be the first map. It's a best of 5 within this series. So once again, the actual teams playing this best of 3, the qualifying match itself is determined best of 3 between the two teams. But it is a best of 5 here, like players.
Yeah, it's always a little bit confusing for people who don't play Overwatch, but y'all get used to it, swear. Apparently you're waiting on one of the Hcklbrry guys, Pharaoh. I hope he doesn't play Farah, because this is going to trip me up. Or maybe it'll make it easier. I can actually tweet about this now, too. Yay!
Oh yeah, qualifying
media.
matches.
Amazing.
Social media is an interesting thing. That's, yeah.
Well, I guess again, like if we're going to talk to the people who are only StarCraft, who don't play Overwatch, and of course King of the Hill is exactly what it sounds like. You gotta control the point for as long as possible, and it'll tick, and it has its own overtime and whatnot, but yeah, there's it's quite a different dynamic, and it is so different. Like, you'll find variations on different maps for point to payload, or, you know, to control point. Stuff like that. Like, there's tiny variations, and certainly we saw that over the last few games, but the biggest variation is probably going to be between King of the Hill and everything else. They still have a lot of the core, like, heroes that are always going to be good here as well, but
sure
might see something mixed up. I'm almost sure. Can't wait to start casting StarCraft tomorrow and just be like, this hero, damn it.
Would be cool if StarCraft had heroes, though, real talk.
No, then there's be Warcraft.
I'd be okay with that. Warcraft in space? Orcs in space?
No. It's casual talk.
Okay. Anyways, we're ready whenever they are. It looks like we're going to be getting into the game finally. So, ladies and gentlemen, buckle your seatbelts as we get into the qualifying match here on Nepal.
Buckle your seatbelts.
Okay, Rifkin, go ahead and calm down there.
I'm pretty proud of that one, actually. I'm just gonna live in that
They're just
moment.
like elated. So, here's what's cool about this before we get into it. Team compositions may look similar to what we just witnessed through the payload maps, but generally speaking, there's a lot of different, I'd say, necessities, but also options open when you're playing defense points like King of the Hill. For example, we see Lucio's on both sides, but I would actually argue Zenyatta is a lot more appealing just because of the way he can control that point. That being said, Lucio's better for pushing in, blah, 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 yada, 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 speed boost.
Yeah.
The point is, like, there's a lot of different options and combinations. In fact, just seeing 2 tracers right off the bat is already different than what we saw in the previous series.
Yeah. I mean, once upon a time, it was, like, vastly different, even, I would say, than the other type of maps as I was going over before we started. But, yeah, really, with the way things have gone, it is a lot of the same core heroes, right? So, Ana still liked, I suppose. The Winston we saw a couple games. Same with the Genji in response to certain things. Lucio is always going to be good. That AoE healing. Very, very helpful. You brought up Zenyatta, and I know Zenyatta is used, but I've never liked him on King of the Hill maps, despite how much I like him in general.
Well, my point wasn't trying to describe the meta, it was just trying to explain how different the heroes can be here, but as Lucio gets in on the high ground here for Team Hcklbrry, Toronto's already on the point ready to defend that choke, so we see Winston's going at it. Very similar team compositions overall, and of course, could be really nice to have once that nano boost is ready, and her ult charges faster than most.
Yep. Who's gonna take actually the first? I mean, now you can actually start contesting it right now. By the way, that was actually another point we didn't bring up, but you guys figure it out, and it's actually going to be Hcklbrry.
I have your back.
Who actually got picked off? Oh, I missed the death scream. Is always so great.
Sounded like Tracer, but maybe I'm wrong. Either way, yeah. So Team Hcklbrry takes control of the first point, but of course, it's really, I guess, a defender's advantage here is massive because unlike maps where you've got to contest the point for the payload and all those things, it will continue to tick while you're fighting on it. So the team that's defending will always have that number ticking up, always that percentage going up. Winston jumps right on in, looking for some damage from that backline, hopping on that Genji right away. But looks like Zarya's ult also goes down. Doesn't yield a ton of kills, but still 2 kills is good at the end of the day.
Yeah, Reaper goes down as well. Not much to be gathered here from Toronto, and unfortunately they're even chased all the way back there. You have to be very careful. Like King of the Hill, it can snowball for sure, but can also like be lost. I think in the same way. Like, you chase forward too much, you get too confident. You start getting your DPS to go around and just pick off people, and then everyone's together in the center. You can snowball the other way.
I've personally been the culprit, overextending, looking for kills, losing the game because of it. Feels bad, man. Hexa's ult's ready to go. Winston wants to get in here with some damage. And there we go, ult's up. We got Genji as well. Everyone just blowing everything to get this team off the point. Toronto eSports wants to take control of that point. Starting to turn this over. Halfway finish. Looks like they will gain control of the control point.
Aww, my hero died, man. What's chat gonna think?
Oh.
Yeah, nicely done.
Press F to pay respects, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Winston almost knocks Winston off. That ended up being the most amazing jump of all time.
What's really nice though is that Toronto still has, at least 3, 4 basically of their ultimate. There goes Zarya right there.
Yeah, I think Zarya's ult being one of the bigger ones here. Combo that with Tracer, that's going to be some crazy explosive damage. We got Reaper also hiding up there on the high ground. Unfortunately, does get pushed out by Genji, but still his ultimate ready to go.
Zarya goes in and gets that Graviton Surge only on 2, and they're immediately jumped on, even though Pulse Bomb going on them. Lucio sound barrier rather.
The thing about Zarya's ult on these sort of maps though is not the same way as it is on payload. You're not looking for a 5-team all-kill type thing. You're looking for mostly just time buying, keeping them off the point, getting the supports more than anyone else. And Toronto may not have gotten crazy kills with ult combinations, but they do hold the point at the end of the day, ticking up now 50%. Lazy Core, by the way, still has his ult ready to go. As he was knocked off early, he didn't get a chance to use it last game. Or last time, excuse me, not last game.
You're alerting it actually to his teammates. I do wonder, I mean, I imagine most of these guys are on some type of like Discord or whatever.
Oh, here we go. Beyblade, it's Beyblade.
Wow, huge. I mean, Ultimate's going off every which way, but you're right, the Beyblade tries to go through. We get Zarya being knocked off by Winston, actually.
Yeah, Reaper cleaning up whatever kills he can. Of course, it's going to come down who's ticking on that point. And right now, it's actually Hcklbrry with control, looking to tick that over a little bit further. Winston heals himself to full with his ultimate, stays alive longer, and looks like Hcklbrry snatches back control, 65%.
That pulse bomb into the Winston range was quite a sight.
It's like it pissed him off so much that he enraged.
Yeah, exactly. Toronto.
Of course, she broke his glasses.
Exactly, there you go. Hcklbrry has 3 of them, I believe. Yeah, there we go. Graviton Surge comes down. Genji with the ult as well on top of it. So there wasn't too many things to kill right there, I suppose.
Genji with the nano boost. Not going to do so well without his ultimate running, unfortunately. Still chases through, getting some kills. But Hcklbrry maintains control of the point. Toronto trying to wrestle it away, though. Still has some people to fight with. They got to get it soon because we're getting close to overtime.
That is true. It's almost at 99%. It's going to go into overtime. And actually, well, I mean, Toronto might just keep this alive. And there they go. They may get up to 99% too. It might just be all about that overtime. They do have, once again, a lot of ultimates as they take control of the point. So 4 all up and ready to go is pretty damn good.
Yeah, this is going to be tough to hold. Nice ultimate, though, out of Toronto to hold them in place. Unfortunately, misses everybody on the team. Feels bad, man. Genji in the back line also gets picked off by combination Winston as well as Anna. Pulse bomb goes off. Everybody scatters. Lots of damage going out. Lazy Core trying to clear this out. It looks like Toronto's going to hold control of the point, and we're in overtime.
Where we are. Does Hcklbrry have anything to send in here? Doesn't look like it.
Good start for Toronto, but of course this is a best of 5. They have to win 5 control points in total to finish out a win. So far from it, but nice start.
I mean, they actually, the start, so the game number 1, great start, right? But the start of game number 1 didn't look so favorable for them. Hcklbrry is the one with, I think they got like 40 or maybe was it 60 before they were pushed off? I can't remember. But they had a nice start to everything, and it was just, I'm really unfortunate to not be able to grab it back enough. And it is really good, I think, to take back the point, Toronto that is, to take back the point, and then twice have either 3 or 4 ultimates.
So real quick, Zambia, you think these guys go through the left or the right when it comes to, we'll say, Hcklbrry?
I'm gonna say left.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not even watching them. You are watching. So is it left on my side? Oh, it's left on my side, so I still won.
Alright, so they're going to take the fight up here. We got that Maywall going down to lock out half of the other team, but as it disappears, they're going to lose their ability to fight for the time being. Toronto eSports with that Reinhardt going to push on through, and looks like they will take control of the middle. Winston jumping in from behind once again, but Reaper takes him out real quick, knocked off and into death. Toronto takes a very good first fight this game.
They absolutely do. So many of Hcklbrry going down very quickly, and of course they're going to cap it. There starts their the percentage, I guess you're going to call it. It's going to start rising up there. You do have Hcklbrry gathering themselves, though.
Yeah, regrouping.
Unfortunately, no one's really close to ultimate. I'm surprised they're telling each other that.
It's still good to report what's going on, I guess. Well, they do hop on down. They're going to come in through that backside. Got to be careful, though. Lots of things that could possibly knock them off, like those Lucio blasts. Oops,
I don't think
camera's stuck.
Toronto was expected. Oh, bye, Reinhardt.
Well, bye, Reinhardt, too. Double kill. We got High Noon coming out of McCree over here, looking for some kills. Nobody's in line of sight, though, so we can't quite get them.
Useless. But I was going to say, I think that Toronto was a little caught off guard by that positioning. They still made the best out of the, I guess, being a little surprised. They reacted really quickly, and they ran over there, and they actually ended up going pretty well for them.
Yeah, Toronto eSports taking some pretty good first fights this game. Now ultimates are starting to charge up. You've got Anna on both sides ready to go. Hers, of course, charges faster than anyone else's ultimate in the game, it feels like.
So quick. It's actually like, it's going to be, I mean, they're looking to nerf it. It's been a lot of people's requests for it.
Well, there's the Zarya ult on the other side. We'll see if it gets many kills. Only Reinhardt goes down so far. There we go, following up with Zarya herself. Unfortunately, though, Toronto takes no damage, and once again, Hcklbrry is beaten back.
It's so dumb to see Reinhardt's attack into each other. But right, Hcklbrry not really getting a foothold here, ever, and it's getting really close, 30% more. Without much to be said about it. They're going to go through the side again, which I do believe Toronto is noticing, so they're going to have to reposition themselves once more. It worked out fine for them last time.
That Reaper's not quite ready to go with an ultimate. Lazy Core, however, is. We'll see if he gets that nano boost. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, the ultimate holds him in place, though. Kind of shuts it down. Not too bad.
Yeah. That Graviton Surge plus the shield actually worked really, really well. I gotta say, this is not necessarily a critique because, of course, Toronto's still doing really well, but maybe they're gonna get pushed back here, finally.
But it's at overtime, so, I mean, you've got a lot of time to buy, even if you lose control of the point. Which they're not yet, by the way. We still have Delaware holding the line with that Zarya. Lucio giving heals from behind, and unfortunately, Hcklbrry's just not able to pick him off.
Yeah, they're finally, I mean, Reaper's gonna try and come behind, get the Ana, not gonna get, oh no, she is gonna get him actually. The Reaper also went down. And I think finally Hcklbrry's gonna get a foothold. There's Reaper taking out the Zarya now.
Yeah, Delaware finally gets pushed off.
Go.
That guy lived for so long, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's not necessarily like, I don't want to be like, this is like terrible, right? But so far, Lazy Core has not been getting like, not what we saw from the last series, right? Where it's like all 16 members go down instantly. He's either too far away from the members or he actually gets countered somehow, you know, like from the Graviton Surge or the shield. Again, not like super critical, it's just like, it's a little unfortunate because I think they were really hoping, they were like, oh my god, everyone's so clumped up, let's go get it, and then nothing really happened.
There's that Reaper shot. Kevin gets knocked back. Nicely done, but it doesn't matter. The team still dies.
No, I was just talking about Lazy Core, right? And he finally picks up a lot of kills.
Unfortunately, though, Lazy Core cannot finish off what's left alone. And now we got control going back to Hcklbrry once more. But the problem is they've got a long time to go. One team kill, and this game's over.
Yeah, but I mean, it's King of the Hill though. Like, if you take control of it, you don't have to be on it to continue ticking. So you can go to a point that's more advantageous for you and try and get them in a choke, or as they're coming out here. You gotta be a little careful no one tries to sneak in behind and grab them from you. But damn, grabs on surge, earth scatter, everything going down here.
Everything went into it, but unfortunately, he got nothing for it. Reinhardt shield covered both ends of that, and now we got Toronto pushing through for kills, looking for that team kill that we just talked about. If they push him off the point, if they take this back, they're already at 99%.
They're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. Unless the Tracer come out right now, but the Reaper and the Reinhardt don't really want to change it off. They have their ults, and I'm not sure why that happened.
Goodbye.
Let's not talk about that. But I was gonna say, what's funny is that they won the team fight, but I was looking, all right, and I swear that Anna could just gone on the point and started having it tick back in their favor anyway. Yeah. No one was on it.
Well, so far, so good for Toronto eSports. 2-0, it's a pretty big lead. But keep in mind, guys, there are still 2 other maps behind this. I think it's, was it Numbani and Hollywood or something weird? I don't remember the map picks off the top of my head, but we'll look at that once we get out of game.
Someone got the basket in the basket.
Oh, did they? Yeah, I love how it makes like the little horn sound now, like you see confetti come out.
Yeah.
There's like such an impossible feat to do in the beta. There really should have been an achievement for it.
By the way, as you guys have hopefully noticed, there's been different levels to this King of the Hill. There's only 3 levels though, so in a best of 5, we'll have 2 repeats. This is the 3rd level.
Yeah. Anna with that sleep dart right away doesn't catch much of anything, unfortunately, but still trying to fire from behind. Got Winston shield up, soaking a lot of hits. Just trying to heal her teammates for the time being.
Yep. Looks like Hcklbrry is getting a much better start here. Just one after another, Toronto's members going down. And now they're starting to trickle in at one at a time too, so yeah, unfortunately Lasercore gets picked off alone from the rest of his team. And that will go in favor of Hcklbrry initially.
I mean, Harambe versus Harambe fights going on. Didn't really accomplish much. Feels bad, man.
Well, another fight might happen in the point, actually. No, actually, okay, a little bit of a ring around the rosy.
It's a nice sleep on that Reaper, but unfortunately the team wasn't there to follow up and capitalize on it. So as they try and fight for the point, they almost get it, but they're not getting the kills they need to really secure it afterwards. They get picked off. We've only got a few people remaining on each team. Looks like Toronto will hold this and take the points.
Yeah, especially towards the end. Actually started dominating the kill feed right there. But nicely done. Takes it back. This little, what do you want to call this? Like this, it's not a bridge really, right? Like where the team is. The walkway. I don't know what to call it. This is a pretty common point though. You do see them running in. What?
Ground.
The
ground.
High ground.
Yeah.
High ground.
Nice Lucio ult, by the way.
Yeah, and again, Lazycore gets the Ana boost, but just he's not ever like in the middle, like looking for those ultimate play the game type fights. But he's still alive. He's doing a lot of damage, and the rest of the team picks up the rest of the kills anyway. I mean, you don't see a Reinhardt from these teams, right, this time? And I guess in a way they're doing almost the same exact thing, where like the Reaper will just be like, everyone scatter, and then hopefully the rest of your team can pick each other, like pick them off before they pick you off.
So as someone who really likes to play Reinhardt himself, Reinhardt is just, this particular point, this particular map, not the greatest here to try and take advantage of. Anna gets caught from behind though. That's Nano Boost now gone. Big pick off with that Zarya ult. Now of course they're going to come in from behind and clean up the rest of the team.
That was absolutely beautiful. Actually, Lucio gets the last 2 kills right there, which is always funny. But Tracer with the 4 kills, 3 from the pulse bomb, 1 just from her damage. Like that was always the lovely combo, the Graviton Surge.
Now, Hcklbrry did not use a lot of their ults going into that. Of course, they got caught with some, but they've got 4 out of 6 ready to go. And well, unfortunately, you don't have Lucio's ult to push in with. You still got Zarya's looking for that Graviton Surge. You got Anna's for that Nano Boost. There we go. And can this combo get the kills they need? Looks like not quite going to be the case. And Toronto just bullies on through once again.
Yeah. Oh, who's Ana Boost? Oh, Ana Boost. Ana Boost on Lazycore. He will grab at least 2 kills. Still alive, however, and chasing the Zarya now. He's going to get her. Oh, sleep darted.
I got to say, Pharaoh's actually had a lot of good sleep darts this game, and usually it's been on Reaper, but unfortunately I've seen that enough. I just realized, though, Anna's Nano Boost would be Nana's Boost as well. If it's on Farah, I guess.
It's true.
Anna's Nano Boost. But again, congratulations to Toronto eSports, a very dominant 3-0 to kick off their very first point on the scoreboard. Of course, there's that Tracer.
First map.
Feels good, man. Oh.
Ooh. This supposed to be best of 5?
You know what? You are correct, but that was game 3, wasn't it? It was 3-0. Hello? Wait.
Oh, it was?
Yes.
I don't know. I forgot the entire.
You just got over it. This is the third point, guys. If it goes to more.
I know, right? Like, I literally just went over that.
Zombie clearly has a camera off in shame, guys.
Oh, sorry.
Gotta recover from that horrendously embarrassing mistake.
I swear to God, I did that the same time the other King of the Hill. I feel actually really bad because I scared the players more than they were like.
I know, they were like, wait, it was. What are you talking about? All right. So
yeah, because it was a 3-0, I don't see the other two, I guess, repeat levels, which is what I was, I guess, anticipating.
Well, either way, 1 point on the board now for Toronto eSports, and it will be losers' pick, so Hcklbrry will get to choose which map they want to get into. Arcanopus says, nice, dig seeing BaseTradeTV casting some more Overwatch. StarCraft 2 is always great, but 2 doesn't like a nice big O. Thank you very much. And of course, Mr. Arthur, Simon, and anyone else who's been tweeting us those clips, thank you guys so much. Keep it up so I can go back through the clips afterwards and look at the cool highlight moments of what's been going on. But, yeah.
It's the next map choice.
Yep, and once again, it goes to Hcklbrry to choose which one they would like to play on. Actually, I just said I'd go back to the veto thing. Where's that little Overwatch window here? Because it'll be the last 2 that were also part of it, but that Overwatch draft thing is slow. And now I can't click on it.
Overwhelmed by, like, you know, 5 teams using it, 4 teams using it.
Right. Okay, well, it looks like we're going to Hollywood next. So they've figured it out before we need to wrestle around with things.
Yeah. But we are ready.
Yeah, we are. Huck tweeting, by the way, saying that's my team, Toronto Overwatch eSports. Yeah, so I know, of course, Huck coming from Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Cheering on.
Isn't he representing Canada as well in BlizzCon?
I think so. He was one of the players voted in. That is when he's not busy pissing everyone off with his casting, am I right?
I wasn't good. That's such a... What is that? Like a low-hanging fruit? There we go.
It's so weird for us, because we're used to Huck, and like I like his commentary. So when everyone made such a big deal about this thing, I was just like, that just doesn't seem like a big deal to me, like, at all.
I watched like limited amounts of the analysis desk, I guess, which is what he was on.
Mm-hmm.
I actually watched a lot of his casting in the tournament before, which I forget which one it was. Or like, well, I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, so I don't know. From when I read, it definitely sounded like it was just like,
oh,
so he's in StarCraft, so he's in Overwatch.
Feels bad, man.
You used to it.
You used to be able to observer climb really far away, and I guess now there's like invisible ceilings.
Oh.
So I remember going off into like the far distance, and now I can't do that. It feels sad.
Oh, well. Well, we are back to the, actually, point-to-payload map, Hollywood. We have seen this before. And it's, yeah, you guys saw King of the Hill. Not too different on the hero choices, but, you know, there's a lot more Winston right there. In fact, Tracer was a staple. We didn't really highlight the Tracer plays, other than that one Pulse Bomb, which was, like, super, super cool.
And it really was, too.
But they're actually very useful. I mean, constantly darting in and out, getting a lot of free damage, even if they don't necessarily get all the kills. But even, of course, chasing down the last kills as well. They're very useful. Not so much here. Sometimes you will see a Tracer, I guess, on the other types of modes. But these are the more stable compositions.
I'm really curious how legitimate this Hanzo pick is going to be. It's young Hanzo at that, too. So, having a grizzled old Japanese man. We were seeing Reinhardt's get back into play. Yay! It felt extinct after that last game, but Reinhardt, of course, an absolutely fantastic hero to have all around. But looks like Core, are you just gonna shoot out like the little Ickle arrow? Supersonic? No, might actually play Hanzo.
Yeah, Hanzo is not a terrible addition. So you can really poke down the Reinhardt shield of the opposing team really well, and of course he will get those picks off on the lower health characters.
There's also the scatter arrow for these closed engagement areas. It's really nice to have, of course, but that Reaper chases him back, so you can't quite get up on that high ground he's looking for. We got Toronto looking to push in. Excuse me, Hcklbrry, they swap colors, that's right. Hcklbrry trying to push in. And Toronto on the defense.
Right. Right? Anyway, the sorry.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah, sorry. attack actually went really well. Can't say as much like Hanzo really did, but of course he has that scout arrow as well, which is going to be able to tell him exactly where the team is coming in from. And all the points that I mentioned about breaking the shield is still absolutely true. Getting those snipes on some of the other characters, like the Ana, for instance, like getting her out of the equation, she has an ult like for right now, for instance, can be really good.
Barrier activated.
Let's get patched up.
See if she lands it. You know what? You were right to do that stutter, by the way. I double checked.
Okay, I was like, wait a second.
Did they counter swap team colors then? Because this is incorrect on the overlay, guys. I gotta fix that. We're gonna spectate Ana.
I don't think they didn't do anything. But here comes a huge team fight. To talk about that, the Ana boost. Oh, jeez. Oh. Whoa, was that a scatter arrow that just killed everyone right there from Hanzo?
Hanzo could be kind of a badass, dude.
I mean, 3 kills from a Hanzo. They were all grouped up, so that definitely would have been a good opportunity to do that. Or I thought I had missed like an entire dragon. Okay, that's what I was like. Wait a second, I missed something really extreme. But I think it was just the little scatter arrow, and that was pretty insane. That was a really nice fight then for Toronto.
So I'm wondering what happened there with the overlay to get messed up, because when we were in the lobby, I had adjusted it. But okay, there we go. Lazy cores on Toronto. That's all I got to remember at the end of the day.
There you go. He has been actually he was the Reaper, so letting Jaru, I guess, be the Reaper while he plays the Hanzo, and it's so far working out. Okay, this composition, this attack is working so well for Toronto right now. I got everyone confused. Thanks.
Yeah, Red's Toronto. We got it. It's all good. We got it in the bag. Now I got observing control back on. I'm no longer tabbed out. Fixing it. Nailed it. 10 out of 10 on this production.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so regardless of this, I mean, one of the nice things about that Hanzo, going back to him for a moment, Core's gonna have a straight shot for this ult. Like, you really have to aim it one generic direction, and like 5 people are lined up for it every single time. So it's gonna clear out the middle. It's gonna be a great way for them to just push on through.
That Reaper wants some pretty good kills, probably on the Reinhardt right here. Graviton Surge comes in. There comes the Reaper. He doesn't have his ultimates, and he's actually sucked into the Graviton Surge for the last second.
That was actually a really great shield from Reinhardt too out of Hexo, keeping everyone on their team alive through that.
There we go. Okay, so he gets 2 kills from that, but I mean, honestly, the team fight was already working out pretty well for Toronto, so that was just kind of like icing on the cake. That was the real.
They gotta get back on the payload though. No one's pushing. There we go. Reaper going for it.
There we go, Drew.
Like, it's nice to get kills, but you know, win the game and all that.
You know, that too. This is working out really well. Pyre actually is on Tracer now. Earthshatter comes down.
Great dodge out of that Lucio.
Doesn't really get anyone. A little underwhelming here, and it looks like Toronto's going to be able to push through. The Tracer's trying her best, trying to get a lot of damage done.
The annoying thing is with these fast heroes like Tracer, like Genji and such, it's kind of hard to actually clear them off that payload. So, yeah, they take a good fight, but they don't actually gain any ground from it after the initial push. Earthshatter goes down, but doesn't catch much of anything, unfortunately, and Toronto's now stalled out with that push. Ultimate's going to go down, but everyone's going to escape from it. Oh, the ultimate combo out of that Hanzo, though. Hoping for more kills, gets the Reinhardt.
Very nicely done. By the way, the Zarya was able to soak up a pulse bomb from the Tracer with her shield, so she's been on pretty high energy. And the Graviton Surge, it worked out for both her and Hanzo, and that's going to be able to seal the deal.
Well, it's a great attacking round for Toronto, but now they're going to have to defend next.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought I was, I'm not sure. I'll have to go back to the brackets, or maybe you could check real quick, but wasn't Toronto actually the underdogs coming into this off the rankings?
They are, yeah.
That's really cool, then. That's really cool.
Ranked 78. Hcklbrry is ranked 41.
Well, I mean, let's see if Hcklbrry can bring it back. But that's really cool to see out of Toronto. I love an underdog story, no matter who it is, no matter what it is. But of course, you know, got that Canadian bias.
Of course. That is going back to, of course, what I brought up a lot earlier, which is like, I mean, first, oh, whoopsie, I sped up the camera. First of all, like, different styles can throw people off, although you see a lot of the same styles, I know, recently, guys.
Did you know that the aliens' eyeballs move? I had no idea. I've played this map a million times. I had no idea.
I had no idea. But anyway.
That's so creepy.
Oh, that the ranking, especially I would say below the top 16 teams, the ones that you see at all these huge events, I really don't know how, like, trustworthy isn't quite the right word, I guess.
Accurate, I think is the better way to describe that.
Okay, yeah, because it's like data collection, right? No one's lying here. No one, like, no personal bias any which way, but...
Ooh. We got a Diva pick.
I don't know where to keep it. Diva is, like, useful... she can time buy, first of all, like kind of like a Tracer. But
depending on what the defense would look like, she's really good at just breaking that front line initially. I can't say that I'm super in love with D.Va in general, but her right click being what it is now, opposed to like the cooldown E that it used to be, is so good at soaking up damage. And of course,
that is true.
Let's not forget, one of the worst feelings in the world is when you're playing Zarya and your ultimate gets right clicked by D.Va.
Oh my god, I hate that. It took me so long too to like realize that was what's happening, by the way.
Yeah, feels. You're just like, where'd my ult go? What happened? Feels bad, man.
Anyway, it was also, like, okay, like the first use of D.Va back when this game like first was released too, is just you get her when you can't break a point, because then you send her in, she ults, and then everyone has to scatter, and then hopefully you can get something done when you're like trying to get the actual point under control.
I'm curious what she was doing. She kind of went like middle of nowhere at the spawn, but okay, she's got up, doesn't matter, gets up to the high ground, everyone jumping up to the high ground, Winston joining him too. Genji gonna dart right in, that Mei gets a little bit low, but not dead just yet, she still has her ice block, of course, and it looks like Genji's just gonna be frozen. We're gonna heal up a little bit afterwards. Ice wall going down too, and no real crazy deaths going on. It's actually pretty good trades on both sides so far.
Ooh, I'm surprised that Mei wasn't able to take on that Lucio. He's been jumping around all the time, but finally it looks like Hcklbrry is getting taken care of, and Toronto will hold.
Now, some ults were built during that first engagement. You know, Tracer's got hers ready to go. Winston's a little over halfway. But the defending team doesn't really need many ults, which is kind of funny. You've got, for example, this Ana boost ready to go on somebody like Reinhardt, and you're just going to have a good time shutting everybody down.
Yeah. We're on the Tracer again. Gonna look for a really good bomb. There goes D.Va's ult, by the way.
And Ana boost is administered. Goes on Reaper. Not quite going to get kills. Soaks up a lot of it with...
Everyone's really already backed away from by the time he got that ult. These are not the same Reaper kills certainly we've been seeing from what was it?
Bowser and others, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a little unfortunate because you are hoping for that exact scenario where everyone is clumped up and everyone has already backed away from him. I wonder if that's a miscommunication issue, or if Ana just simply is like always slightly out of position so she gets like a later one, or if Reaper just barely doesn't have the ultimate. I'm not sure, but it does seem to be fairly consistent amongst that team. We'll see if it affects it though. Like, okay, they gave up this first point, but they held a lot longer than Hcklbrry did on the defense. Looking, of course, to hold here. Pyro did use his ult already, but he's almost got another one. I mean, Tracer also gets her ult pretty quickly. Zarya being bounced upon by the Winston and Tracer combo does get taken out. Oh. Toronto has a couple of ults, so Zarya just went down.
Genji was asleep, feels bad, man. That Lucio did some dirty things.
I hate when you're all ready to go and you get slept, you know? Like, it's one thing to be in the middle of the fight and you're like, okay, I guess I'm done. But you're like, I'm gonna get the ult. I'm gonna get the... Oh, okay.
No, the worst is when you are ulted. You're playing like Winston or somebody that's like supercharged up, and then you get knocked down and you're like, great.
That too.
Feels bad, man. But anyways, enough about that. We got the push going pretty solidly here out of Hcklbrry. No real stalls, and Toronto's actually having some trouble taking a good fight. Ults are ready to go, though.
Exactly, a couple of ultimates ready to go. Ult's the Winston...
Winston's it's an interesting choice. It's way better when he's ulting himself, but oh, there's a pretty big ult coming down. We'll see if this gets the kills they want. We also have D.Va's ult gonna explode in the background, and looks like they will clear out the defenders. Toronto eSports blown away.
That was terrifying when I heard the ult go down for Toronto, but apparently it did not matter. Hcklbrry has absolutely dominates a lot of their team on fire, even. Now, no one really has a lot of ults here. It looks like Hcklbrry is going to have Genji, and Toronto's going to have Reaper, but with no Ana to back him up yet. Not for a while, in fact.
Lee's core swapping over to McCree, getting some really nice damage in, but it's still looking like it's not quite enough, and Hcklbrry just can't be stopped. That Genji comes in and takes out all the squishies on that back line. They're retreating into their spawn, Zombie Grub.
Oh, geez, that's always pretty scary. I mean, the attacks always seem to go better for any team that we've watched, right? I think
it's safe to say attackers always. Nobody, like, when it was the coin flip, nobody wanted to get coin flipped on defense, ever.
Yeah, exactly. So, this isn't unexpected, but it really does come down to when it's like this, you know, like, how much time do they get above their opponents? I'm looking like it's going to be too much more, unless they can really break through instantly right here.
This will protect us.
Hcklbrry does have quite a few ultimates ready to go. Actually, 4 ultimates, and there could be a boost on the Winston this time with his own ultimate. That could be darn good. Roadhog looking for those hooks to carry the key characters. Actually, the ult goes down on the Reaper like usually expected, but also there is Winston's ult. Oh,
and everybody gets slaughtered. Looks like we are going to have this tie up.
Yeah, it is.
Of course, the
And-
times are still somewhat similar, though. Like 3.5 minutes about on each side of this, so won't be too bad. They're trying to buy every few seconds they can get here. Absolutely worth it. Anytime they can buy here with Mei. It's not about stopping this, but about buying as much time as they can at this point.
Was Winston trying to... I thought I heard his emote, actually. I hope he wasn't DMing too early. But anyways, you're absolutely right. Just about buying time. So eventually they do break through. But that lost them, what, like
30 seconds? Something like that? Yeah, like this was dead set to be like 3.5 to 3.5. Now it's 3:12 versus 3:36.
Yeah. That could definitely be a big deal. I don't know if 25 seconds is quite enough to get another round of an attacking with like everyone together, but it could be pretty close.
It really can be the difference of building that ults in time. Having that extra
Yeah.
Zarya ult, having that pocket ace ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Both teams proving, though, without a shadow of a doubt, that they are good enough to, first off, be matched. This is the first time we've had an evenly matched set. After that first 3-0 on the control point map, I thought this was going to be a very one-sided series, but things are now tied up within this particular game. Someone in chat earlier was asking, is this a best of 3? And the answer is yes to the overall score. It's 1-0 for Toronto eSports. They won Nepal prior to this, if you've just tuned in.
Yeah. A lot of numbers, a lot of scores, I guess, to be seen here. Because there's the overall score, and then the score attacking, defending, and then the score of how many points they've taken in this set, like this single game.
It's certainly, if you're not someone who's already playing a lot of Overwatch and understands it, it can certainly be confusing, to say the least. I see a couple people in chat helping explain it with tennis analogies of all things. So thank you so much.
Okay.
Best of 3 with 3 sets and 3 matches and 3 games, multiple matches, you name it, whatever. We do have Diva once again for Hcklbrry, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, was it found that really to be that effective? I guess there's a couple points where we threw it forward, basically. You just kind of throw the nuke forward.
I was a lot less impressed about the ult use and a lot more about like soaking up the ultimate with like her defense matrix, and not a lot of damage went done. That being said, we did have Toronto try and flank him from the right side, catch him from behind, and it kind of worked. Unfortunately, Hcklbrry, though, was also ready to respond to that, so as we can see, might not be the craziest push of all time, but also not the greatest defense either. Both teams just trading out as much as they can.
Yeah, I was going to say that could have gone really sideways for Toronto to lose their Winston rate here, because if they're aggressive and they have a couple characters behind, like they're weaker heroes, right, then they can actually get split apart and killed, which I guess kind of...
You're powered up. Get in there.
Toronto, though, never mind, nope, they push it back. So anyways, the aggressive maneuver right there wasn't fantastic, but it worked, and they hold. I was going to comment on how surprising it is that either of these teams have not used that balcony with Reinhardt. They are both preferring Winston, I suppose, the main tank, and then, of course, that little Diva pick.
Yeah, Winston's actually not bad considering the team compositions either. More on that afterwards. Nano Boost goes off, and it goes off on a Winston, who is, of course, doing a lot of damage to that backline. Doesn't quite get that Lucio, unfortunately, even with the Tracer assist.
Like, Nano boosting a unulted Winston is always going to be a little funky.
Winston's kind of a little bit like, I guess, Diva in a small way, lots of little attacks, but yeah, it's janky at best. Looks like they will clear out the point, though. Hcklbrry looking to clean up that last Reaper and get this first point locked down.
Alpha on the Reaper got 4 kills right there and really helped secure the point. But I was going to say, like, yeah, Winston can do, like, pretty well. If he's, like, facing 3 people that are close up against him, then his, like, Tesla cannon, as it's called, right? Actually does decent enough amount of damage to a lot of people. Or if he jumps on them, right? But
a Tesla cannon? Whoa, you know the name. Whoa.
It's like the only one that I know. Whoa.
Right, because it's all just electricity. Nikola Tesla. Yeah, so Annas are just kind of shooting at each other right now. Kind of funny to see. We do have a Pharah come out. Pi Hero swapping over to Fana. I really like Pharah.
Mercy, Pharah combo. We do have. Oh wow, that is the Beyblade combo right there. The ults from the Reaper, the ult from the Ana, and of course the shield from Zarya. Works out pretty damn well, and they entirely clear Hcklbrry off of that car. The manager isn't too happy right now.
This is... Oh, yeah. Get this payload moving! What am I paying you for? I love...
He's an executive or something, right?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I love the better defense this time around, though, because Toronto eSports at this point, they were thrown around. They were tossed around. They didn't stand a chance last game. Nice pickup on that Pharah right away coming out of that Reaper. Mercy goes down, too, so no ultimate going to come out of her anytime soon. Still at 50%, and we're getting close to overtime.
Yeah, this is actually getting really desperate. Of course, the Tracer also took out the Reinhardt. I mean, everything went really... that was really loud in my ear, actually. Everything went really well for Toronto.
This is huge,
sure
though.
Hcklbrry can really do anything else. They ult the Winston once again, but he doesn't have his own ult, so he's like super quickly running around everywhere.
If that Winston's like getting in that back line and he's charging like 3 or 4 people, it gets his ult going really quick, then you can buy a lot of time on that card, but it's not quite going to be the case here. It looks like Lazy Core with a big ultimate once again clears up everybody and anything left breathing. And that's going to be the defense.
Yeah, a bit of an unnecessary ult on the Zarya at the end right there. Very nicely done. I would say only one really good team fight for Hcklbrry. And that's so unfortunate.
It's still not over yet. Their time hits 0, but they could potentially stall out on this first point. If they can defend well against Toronto eSports, then it's not going to be a 2-0. Because keep in mind, if Toronto eSports basically takes this first point, gets a little bit further, they're going to be the ones qualifying through the main events. They're already up 1-0 in the overall best-of-3 score.
Yeah. Do we have any other, I guess, scores reported yet? No. Okay, everyone who's allowed to play is still playing it out. And, of course, Velociraptor, I guess, is still waiting on Nerd Rage in SOT?
I'm not sure what's going on with that. I know there's a lot of people coming in earlier asking about Nerd Rage, specifically wanting to see them, so hopefully they'll get through, and or whoever gets through plays against Velociraptors. We'll be casting them next. But, yeah, 4 teams in total are going to get through today, guys. We're catching one of them here, a second one afterwards. But Toronto doing some pretty nice work that last game on the defense. We'll see if their assault can keep up with their defense, I guess. It's so funny watching how, and I'm going to say this sparingly, like how bad it was the first time. Like they got knocked out, they got scattered, they had to trickle in, it went badly. But when they were consolidated on the defense, they were ready to go, they wiped out Hcklbrry once, twice, and 3 times.
Absolutely. I mean, their attacks last time, it went down to almost even, almost 330 versus 330. So if that's going to continue, then they might also get denied after grabbing the payload at least, but not very far after that. But I think that's what Hcklbrry would really want, is to stop them from getting to that payload point in general. That would be absolutely amazing for them. Barry already destroyed by the Reinhardts.
Reaper on the back line, though.
On.
Trying to catch them off guard, doesn't quite do it. Nice response out of the attacking team, Toronto eSports, of course, but Reaper comes up top, tries to pick off that Hanzo. Nice shield out of Zarya to keep him alive a little bit longer. She, of course, now fully energized from it. Uh-oh.
Well, they do push Toronto back, but I mean, Toronto actually didn't die and get pushed back. A lot of them just retreated after realizing it was a bad fight. After basically Hexo got a little too far forward and got knocked out. Lazy Core on that Hanzo again. It's always so fun to see a Hanzo, I gotta be honest. Like, regardless if he's good or not, I think that he's a fun character. As much as you guys get interlocked with the terrible Hanzos on ladder.
I was gonna say something. We've been playing 2 different games of Overwatch, I suppose. Nice pick off on the Reaper, gets the charge, but he doesn't go down. He does, in fact, pick off the Zarya. But there's the nano boost on Reinhardt. He doesn't have a lot of health going into this, so he gets stunned and killed immediately. No damage comes from that.
That's what I was gonna say. He barely was like 25% health, and then going up against a Reaper, like he had a 5-2 hope that he just killed him first. So did not work out quite the way that you wanted. Again, the Reinhardt not necessarily going to get as many kills as like a Reaper, obviously when it does that, but ideally it pushes it forward and it makes everyone divide, and instead you have Toronto once again pushed back.
So Toronto may be in a bit of trouble, but they got some good ults lined up. If Reinhardt can knock everyone down, Hanzo's gonna murder them with his ult. Of course, any other combination can be good too. Hanzo just waiting for some damage. He sees that Luciani up there, starts picking away at him. But this is going to take some good coordination. It's absolutely possible for Toronto eSports to wipe out Hcklbrry in the defense with what they have available.
Oh, the Reaper from behind. Pie Hero trying to be a true hero. Doesn't really work out that way.
Oh, there's the ult. There's the Hanzo follow-up. That's going to be a couple of kills. Lucio gets an ult, but he misses with some of it, so unfortunately doesn't kill everybody. Reinhardt gets an absolutely awesome Earth Shatter, but nothing to follow it up, and looks like Hcklbrry holds the line once again, and Hcklbrry may be the ones taking this series. Toronto eSports has like one really good push left in them, and they've used most of their ults.
Yeah, they have 2. Maybe the Ana could get her 3rd too. Like, I mean, they're gonna probably want to wait for her anyways for the Reaper, but she still needs to get 30 more %. And of course, Hcklbrry has 3 of their own ults, including potential ult on the Reinhardt. Although, I mean, the Reaper would be cool too. He's way far away from his ult.
Well, there's the big ults coming in and trying to finish off the game. They are going to get some nice kills here to stop that Zarya, stop the Lucio.
Nothing is working. I mean, they've tried, I think, every single direction so far. Lazy Core, the only guy, I thought he was going to escape, but not so much. And they've been completely wiped again.
It'd be cool if the Overwatch music would work.
My ultimate is charging.
Yeah, it's gone for me too now.
Like,
but I also have it
it's
on,
so
like, 20%,
inconsistent.
so.
It's so inconsistent whether the music's here for overtime or not.
I just figured that it was like a very soft part because I have mine on 20%. I actually took it away entirely.
There we go.
Anyways, I mean they're being pushed back again, and of course when it comes down to only 20 seconds and less, 15 seconds. Well, just pushing them back is also good, but they also take a lot of kills. In fact, Alpha on McCree gets 3 kills, and I think that might just be it, unless they can change to a Tracer.
I mean, it sucks too. You got Hexa with all, you got Jaru with an all, you got big people wanting to come in and finish this game off, but it's just not gonna happen.
They do manage to grab it, so like they're holding on overtime, but with not much to reinforce with, not much, you know, not convincing me they're going to be able to get the points. Reaper tried as hard as he could.
Unfortunately, just no opportunity to use his ult either.
Oh, Jesus. Lucio got wrecked with like wall slide, so he just went all the way over.
That Earth Shatter combo needed to come when that Reaper was still alive, but a counter Earth Shatter shut him down. It's going to be game, and looks like we are going to have the series tie up now, 1-1.
Nice,
our first
finally.
ace match.
Yeah.
4-3.
Well, definitely kudos to Hcklbrry for being able to hold right there. What was the last map? Do you remember?
I do not. That's what I was trying to look up before we got into this, and they made it so quickly, so I just closed it.
Well, I know it's not watch point.
Yeah, you got wrecked on that, Vito. Who's got play of the game? A Reaper? Oh, it's Lazy Core, probably with that one cool ult.
Was it the ult or was it the... Was this the ult? It was an ult. I just must have missed the tail end of it. Yeah, okay. I was like...
Oh, feels good, man.
That was such a nice... Oh my god, he even got the emote in there.
I didn't see the emote, yeah.
But yeah, I must have missed that actual, like, the dragon go over, and I was like, what? Who gets 5 kills or 4 kills without a dragon? But no, the dragon combo definitely beautiful one. Sometimes I remember.
Sometimes you remember, but often you don't. We're going to find out what this final map is. Man, the way your blinds are having the light straight in on you, you look so dramatic right now. Like, are you ready to yell at me? Because I need to turn my badge and gun in? Like, what's going on with this?
Oh, that's dramatic. Gotcha.
Okay, well, teams swapped again. I'm not sure if it'll stay red, if it'll stay blue. But we're going to go to a small commercial break while teams get ready for this final map. So stick around, guys. We'll see you in 2 minutes. All right, so my guess earlier was correct. Final map in the series is going to be on Numbani. I actually really like this map, if for no other reason than for the music that accompanies it. But yeah, we'll see what happens as we get into this final match. Our very first game 3, our very first ace match of the entire tournament so far.
Yeah, for us. Most of the bracket was 2-0, I would say, as well. But there were some 2-1s.
Did we ever get a result for the other one?
No, I'm going to ask.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens there as we get caught up with things. Again, we got tweets going out. If you guys want to do us a favor, we got some highlights being tweeted too. Make sure to go favorite and retweet those while you got the time. And yeah, qualifiers will... I guess I thought this was like, are we going to only have like a 3-hour cast today? But this combined with the third or the last best of 3, we'll have about 4 hours. It's not bad. Again, kind of timing out a bit similar to that as like a small StarCraft Cup.
Yep, I'm not sure who we're waiting on.
Yeah, teams may have just gone to BRB. I mean, whenever they're good, they're good. But I noticed something when we got out of that last game, because what I was doing...
What's that?
So I'll bring this in to show you guys. What I was doing was like I was preemptively just swapping the names, because usually this swaps with this. But I'm not sure if they hit a button or if there's some setting that they used. But this, when we loaded out of the game, Toronto was definitely blue, and then it swapped everybody over in like a second.
Yeah, they swapped colors.
Yeah, that's what I'm
every
saying.
single time. Yeah.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. They swap, but then someone's been swapping them back. That's why Toronto's still red. Because like last game when we had the names confused, it's because they had preemptively swapped Toronto to blue and Hcklbrry to red.
Oh, I'm not sure. I only saw one graphical change, I suppose. And I thought that was the game changing, because that used to happen too. And if they had to switch it back, then I would have seen... Because you can't just switch the colors, as far as I know. You have to, like, literally go, like... Click,
yeah,
click,
that's
click.
why I'm saying I'm wondering what happened. Because our experience is, like, it was actually too difficult to do, and that's why we didn't do it. Anyways, we're in the cool-ass champagne room, or whatever you want to call it, for one of the spawn points.
I'm in the airport.
I love that these wine bottles or whatever is detailed and textured as they are. You can't actually break them. You can break some, but not all of them.
Shouldn't all of these flights be canceled?
Why? Because of terrorism?
Well, there's no one here.
You know what? That's
So.
actually a good point. So
I don't know.
set the map. Well, I mean, it's currently temporarily shut down, I suppose. Yo, this is cool. Another aspect. Like, so again, I play on all these maps all the time, so I never really explore it. I never realized that the posters were animated. That's super duper cool. But, yeah, small detail, not a big one. Compositions looking not so surprising. I really do like Zarya paired up with Reinhardt. I like Zarya just in general. I think her shield's just too fantastic not to have. So both teams going for her.
The I guess the unsung champion so far, thinking back to the cast so far, is like who have we talked about, who have we not. We've really not talked much about the Lucio. Yeah, you'll notice that he's chosen every single time.
Yeah,
he's like the chosen character.
Part of it is definitely the speed boost, just getting out of the gates. The other part of it is just AoE healing. You don't have to worry about like being missed as heals. But I want to talk about this actually, because this is something where this has changed a lot since the last time we actually threw a tournament on Numbani. Everyone took the fights down here, but for the last season of Ladder, every fight on Numbani is opened up here on the top side. So it's interesting to see Toronto coming through the bottom side, catches the other team a little off guard. Pie Hero's waiting for the top, doesn't end up happening. Icewall cuts the team in half though, and unfortunately, Toronto does not get to fight with a full force of their army. Stumble through that.
There's definitely something to be said about trying to surprise what is, I guess, the metagame, right? And like trying to roll in like that. But there's a reason that situating yourself on that high ground is so useful. You get to see where they're coming from.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's easier to jump down because you can't jump up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and then you can just jump down once you realize where they're going. And I don't think you get too much for Toronto to actually do that. But then, I mean, there's a lot to be said about a lot, actually. Because if you try and go through and meet them on the high ground, you're going through a choke. And that can be really hard. You're literally going through one corridor, and that can be super difficult.
Well, as we see the high ground being a real pain in the ass, these guys can't quite get the shots they want. Pie Hero jumps down. I'll say a little bit boldly. It might be too boldly if you ask me, but manages to get out of there alive. We do have Toronto getting on the point now, though. Lucio gets stuck within the mail, but he gets out barely in the backside. Wasn't healing thanks to the Ana grenade, but should be able to start healing up soon. Unfortunately, while his team is on the back line, they're still being separated, scattered, and killed.
Whoa. There's the boost on Lazy Core, but he's unfortunately getting he's not getting anywhere. He's actually getting apart from the enemies he wants to kill by the Winston.
I mean, the nice thing is it's not going to be long before Ana can get that ult back up again, but he does burn his ult. This might be a little bit preemptive. He doesn't have the support to go through with it. And now this is going to clean him up. Last 2 or 3 people remaining. We got Ana there on the side just kind of shooting from afar. Get some really nice shots in, and now McCree with that backup kills everybody remaining. Jaru ends up coming out of this alive with his ult fully charged.
Yeah, that's what's really, really nice. We have a Winston trying, I guess, to continue buying time. They don't want to give him that payload, but that just didn't really work out.
Well, they take this first point and gonna just jump forward a little bit. For Jaru here, it's really important. Like, he gets some sort of vantage point to use this high noon. It's not simply enough to be like riding the payload and launching it out. So I love this sort of sneak attack from behind. He's crawling down too, making no footstep sounds. Hopes to get somebody off guard. Did get scouted. Don't know if he realizes that or not.
Maybe not.
Okay, well, either way, he's still hanging around the backside, and the other team seems to have not worried about him for now. That high noon, just really waiting to come out and catch the other team off guard. Very important that he plays patiently with this.
Well, Lazy Core trying to get something done, but he is also actually spotted. It's a pretty common area for Reaper to try and jump down from. There's an Ana boost on him as Ana tries to back him up, but once again finding not a lot of things to hit. He finally finds about 3, but he didn't have his ult. So
I think it was last time too. He's only at like 80% charged.
It's always so funny. Like as much as like Velociraptor again getting like 7 kills. Actually, Jaru just got 3. It's like amazing and really super cool. Pushing them back and getting them like 3 away from 2, and those 2 are like on either side from each other. It's still something to know. They're getting picked
split
off.
them in half, segmenting them. Jaru, just gonna keep an eye on him for a little bit. I still want to see the high noon come down, but they're making Toronto eSports making some really good time. 4.5 minutes on that last push is not bad at all.
Oh no, they're doing pretty damn well.
It's high noon. I feel it.
Yeah.
It's actually 3:13 p.m. But you know.
Close enough. Sure.
Oh, the Maywall is a good block. He's got 5 seconds to get some line of sight. Gets some pretty good kills. Lines him up, knocks him down. Jaru with a triple kill.
Yeah, not bad at all. Gets that Zarya. Ana gets the it's Pyro actually, and they might just be able to ride this to the end. We do
They
have
gotta
the rest of the
spawn.
team
It's
back
running
up.
in. May can buy some time with those ice blocks, but she has to burn her ice block to stay alive, so she can't quite get the time she wants. Reinhardt charges in and catches Hexo a little off guard. Slammed into an ice wall, getting knocked down. Reinhardt versus Reinhardt. Earth Shatter goes down. Earth Shatter counters, and we got some pretty big fights going down here on the front lines. Big Zarya ult too. Oh my God! No damage to follow it up.
Lucio is the one who's supposed to be ulted right there.
Oh, did he get nano boosted?
Yeah, I think it did. That can sometimes happen. It actually happened in one of the tournaments recently, in like the Korean tournament.
You know,
it's always funny to see that.
When I'm playing Ana, the worst feeling is you line up a really sick ult, but someone runs in front of you the last second, and it's always somebody fast and tiny.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, the D.Va ran in front of me. I guess maybe she could do something, but then Lucio gets in front of me, like,
You know, D.Va's not a bad
Yo,
ult
man.
choice, though. She actually gets a lot of damage when she's up in close range.
That's why it's like, okay, I didn't mean to, but alright, they try and do something, but it's like Lucio's, I don't know, man. And if this was not one hero limit, like imagine like, boosting another Ana. Just boost each other, just be friends.
This is where you get those like pub games where you've got like 5 Anas camping that one dude trying to time him out of the game by sleeping him forever.
Hell yeah. Well, we got time, a little bit of time anyways. We're gonna have Tracer and D.Va. D.Va once again for Hcklbrry. I guess they're finding her effective enough using her.
I like D.Va. I mean, I know that this is something a lot of people don't necessarily agree on, but I think she's got some really good... Ever since she had her right click tuned up to be better than ever, I think that she actually brings a lot of utility to the team. Not just tankiness and a bit of damage, and obviously her ult is cool, but that right click can seriously cancel out a lot of damage.
Yeah, I don't think, like, that's not going to be the one that's highlighted because it can be kind of hard to see when everything else is going on. You see the nuke go forward, of course everyone's going to pay attention to that, but that is certainly important. And the nuke can provide the same deal as, like, a nano boosted, heroes that everyone has to spread and run away.
The nuke does have the biggest look at me, though. It's like literally an exclamation mark.
Yes.
It's like a warning sign around it. Everyone sees it globally.
Yeah, that and then Winston.
All right, well, some pretty standard picks again with Pharah coming out, Lucio. Nice combination of the two.
Why did Winston say he's had bad museum experiences? Oh, because of that's the trailer. The trailer.
Trailer to Overwatch, yeah. With Doomhammer's glove, which is actually the payload for this map, for those who didn't know. So
yeah,
fun
the more
fact.
you know.
Defense set up here a little bit further back, but they still have some of that high ground up there. So see if this becomes problematic or not. Hexo and them are going to have to find the enemy team coming from the side, though, not necessarily through the angle they were expecting.
Yeah, I don't think they're expecting this one at all.
Ooh,
In fact,
Jaru getting some nice
over
shots.
here, there we go. This is so dangerous. Yeah, people are going to get pushed off. I don't think I've seen many team fights happen over here specifically.
Goodbye, D.Va.
Bye-bye. That was
a
yeah,
really
very
solid
impressive.
defense, is all I can really say. Another knockoff as well. Genji going down of all people. Feels
that
bad,
to
man.
happen. I don't know. I think their intention might have been to actually get into the corridor, or maybe to get
I
behind
think they were.
the entire team.
I don't think anyone expected that many knockoffs to be that problematic.
Yeah, I don't think they were supposed to fight right there, but that was quite funny. I guess it happened quick enough. Let me back up.
Hcklbrry's got quite the tall order, guys. They've got to break this first point. They've got to get full 3 pushes to even have a chance to tie up the game.
90% with Zarya, actually. She's chasing down a Lucio who's just running away from her, unfortunately, so she's not getting much done. Winston going bananas on the top with Lazy Core helping him out. It looks like Toronto's going to be able to hold. Lucio's going to go down eventually. There we go.
Yeah, Zarya's got some pretty nice damage when she's got that energy. Yeah. Sleeping over here is Hexo, snoozing away. Wake up, Winston! Get to work! Oh, Graviton Surge, 80% energy. This is like right where you want to be a Zarya. Have them all come to this little corridor without a Reinhardt on their team, no less. Oh, it's going to be sweet.
Hcklbrry might boost either the Winston, I suppose. He's only 20% away, but the Genji is also only 5% away from his ult. The point is, I think they're going to have to wait a little while before getting that combo. Genji is the one chosen.
Dragonblade's going to get some good damage done, but there's that Zarya ult. Cleans up most of the team, while Genji might be getting some work done. The rest of the team's paying for it. That being said, Toronto eSports is down to 1 tank remaining. Hexo going to try and buy some time at the point. We got Ana coming back here to defend, and finally Jaru's going to maybe clean up. There we go. Finally deals with that D.Va on the backside.
Yeah, might be able to get to the Tracer as well.
I don't know. It's going to be tough with that Winston there, too. But they weren't fighting on the point, so Arc has no problem getting back in time to stall this out. Not even 2 points taken yet. This point is far from secured.
Lazy Core coming in here. He does almost have an ult, but he might not need it.
Oh, he dies. He dies, though. Not a chance to use it, unfortunately.
They're think that's Hcklbrry's actually moved. I think it's. I mean, it was hard fought, and they had a couple. There you go. They had a couple fights where it was like, maybe you should, and they kept going.
We're actually gonna start seeing some of the problems we saw at Toronto back on Hollywood, where they are not together. Like when they're together fighting as a team, they are a really good defense. But unfortunately, picks here, picks there, losing that Zarya right away. That cost them their ability to stall this payload out. They really have to regroup.
I also say that like having 5 ultimates now is amazing. You would have wished to have a couple of ultimates like during some of those fights, right?
Both teams though have a lot of this 4 on Hcklbrry as well.
Yeah, that's true. There are actually a lot of ults. Looks like, in fact, Toronto might just be able to get ult 6.
This could be a very flashy
Like Zarya
fight
goes in
coming up.
first. Could be a lot of, I guess, terrible damage. Oh, a nuke and a nano boost come down here. Both nano boosts on both the Reapers.
Well, the nuke didn't really accomplish too much. High Nuke gets a couple of picks there. Looks like Toronto does lock down the defense. And this is what we're talking about, guys. Like when Toronto is together, they can't be torn apart. They can't be broken. Not too easily, at least.
I mean, well, Lazy Core getting the ult right there. His ult and being boosted as well. And then Drew picking up everything else worked out pretty perfectly.
There's only 2 ults remaining for Hcklbrry for this next push. I mean, Lucio's ult's always good for trying to push a point. Winston's good for scattering a team. But really, there's not a lot of damage through those 2 ultimate combinations.
They already have. Okay, 1 for 1 on the DPS here. Pyro takes out the Zarya. Winston goes bananas for Toronto. There's the boost. Where the boost go on? Actually, when I'm a McCree, he's dying right now.
Doesn't quite get the Lucio. Missed a couple of shots there for all the good ones he had earlier, but it's bound to miss 1 or 2. But trying to finish off Anna doesn't quite get her. Pie Hero on the Tracer coming in from behind the cleanup. And looks like they will finally get that payload moving again. Winston's on the back line. Not dead yet. 12 health Hexo. Buying a little bit of time. Not much.
But it's less than 2 minutes. Oh, well, of course, actually, they're on each point. Never mind. They're going to have quite a bit of time then to get to that very final point, which is pretty nice for them. As they barely push it forward. There we go.
The final point is one of the most difficult ones to push, though, on this map.
Well, they get a great start. I think that there was a situation where Toronto just overextended a little bit. They wanted to stop them from getting that point, additional time on the clock, but in doing so, they did lose a little bit of ground.
They're pushing up. It's 3v5, 3v6. Like, this is not something you want to do. Tracer coming from the backside. You got Lazy Core up top, looking for some maybe ace match action, but Lazy Core alone can't stop this. Even though his ult's ready to go, he gets caught by Tracer right away. 55 health, that's not enough to comfortably ult with.
Once again, we saw this really difficult position for Reinhardt where the nuke was coming in from behind and the Reaper was coming in from the front, so he really couldn't do anything to protect his entire team, and of course got taken out himself.
I'll get pushed right back to the point.
I mean, on the supports, there's no follow-up.
If there was damage out here, that would have been great, but they were all being pushed back by that D.Va, by that Winston.
Oh, the Deadeye, and of course Reaper being ulted. That was a lot of ults used right there. It does entirely clean up Hcklbrry.
They needed this momentum back, though. They could not keep trickling in the way they were. So even though it did take them a couple of ults to burn it, it had to be done.
That doesn't put him in too bad a position. I mean, Lucio on Hcklbrry is the only one that's close to getting an ult here. I guess Anna as well. But the point is, like, the supports are. But Toronto just way far behind in the percentages. That's a little bit scary.
Absolutely. I guess coming into this corner is going to be a little bit difficult for Hcklbrry. There's some really nice long-range shots coming here out of Jaru.
Wait, but that was a nano boost on a Tracer? Okay. She was kind of going ham on the backside, and I mean, everything else was cleaned up, so on purpose or not, hey.
All right, Hcklbrry's going to get the point. That's going to be nice, but it is worth noting the time difference getting here. It's a minute and a half. Like, there's double the time for Toronto eSports, so if these games play at the same way, at the same pace, it should still go well for them. But again, that reminder, it's tied up 1-1 in overall team score, and whoever wins this potential overtime, if you want to call it that, is going to be the ones who go through to qualify for the main events. I will say, though, both Toronto, both Hcklbrry impressed me. I would love to see him come back for our second set of qualifiers, because one of these two will unfortunately have to lose.
Yeah. I mean, Hcklbrry being the higher ranked a little bit, of course. Always like, I guess, you're talking about a little bit of the underdog story, but they are actually looking to be the ones to... They're not going to take it, obviously. Just the time can be so deceiving because overtime can be... Well,
infinite.
Can be, yeah, exactly. Be infinite. I was going to say a bitch, but it can be infinite, too. But they are the ones looking a little bit better. Yeah, I know.
There could be children watching.
PG stream. PG stream.
Actually, there's probably no children watching. We got 300 and something view bots,
You can
right?
say, oh well, of course, you can say bitch on like regular TV. All right, it's fine. That's how I decide if I can use the language.
If it's okay by like TV broadcasting standards.
If they say it on Friends, then I can say it. All right.
TV broadcasting standards are so flippy floppy too.
A
Although
little bit.
the weirdest form of censoring ever will probably be in hentai, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time.
Oh, bring that up, why don't you?
Well, I'm watching Diva after all. Anyways.
Whoa, whoa. Okay.
They're just gonna push through really quick. Diva and Trace are gonna get to that back line and maybe try and scatter. I don't think we're gonna see fighting around that ledge too much again, but Lazy Core almost gets knocked off. Lazy Core does get knocked off. Goodbye, good night, see you later.
Oh, that worked out, I think, exactly as how
Massive blitz.
Hcklbrry wanted it then.
Yeah, massive blitz onto the point. Of course, still holding on with a couple units remaining and a couple people left, but it's not gonna happen.
Okay, so that's what that push is supposed to look like. Most of everyone got to the ledge position that, not the one that's gonna get kicked off, and then they actually managed to kick someone on the defending team off. That's when that looks perfect. So well done. They definitely needed to get that really quick. They don't have a lot of time left over. 40 seconds probably is not gonna be enough. They're probably gonna need overtime.
Even with something like a high noon, not actually killing anything, everyone's scattering, everyone hiding, that 10 seconds lost, that 20 seconds lost is huge. 20 seconds remain. If Toronto eSports just consolidate up, they're good.
If they never stop, they would have, what, like 30 extra seconds? Like,
Man,
dang.
I've had some of those amazing games where you've just been in like constant overtime and somehow managed to win. It happens. Overtime can be crazy.
Does happen. It's not even like the most amazing games ever anymore, I would say. It's fairly common.
They're pushing them off the payload.
Bronzer right here. Oh, they're pushing him off the payload. Oh, God,
all they gotta do is keep them off. They don't actually have to kill. They just have to keep them from touching that payload, but looks like it's not gonna be the case. Lazy Core gets cleaned up and looks like a big push still going through. We still have Anna in the back, but what can she really do?
I think they're gonna be able to push. They're so close to pushing all the way. Okay.
This is
maybe no. I don't even think that Toronto can stop them from doing this point.
This is where Anna just wishes she could like self-inject, like never use your own supply. I know and all that, but really, come on.
They're gonna be able to push this through. That was almost seamless too. It's like that one stopper that he's a diva.
That being said, we're still in overtime, and one team kill for Toronto could lock this down.
That doesn't help them too much, but. It's getting a little bit close. I'm sure that Toronto's really wishing that they're just able to stop him here, right now.
There's a lot of ults ready to go. Lazy Core gets in there with that nano boost, and there we go.
Lazy Core gets 3.
Winston pushes everyone else off, and that should be overtime. There's a couple people remaining. We got Diva just trying to keep it alive a little bit longer. Tracer gets killed too simultaneously.
Diva, go Diva. Diva, you got this. You don't got this. Okay, that's overtime done.
All right,
but that's so quick like that.
That's still some really good ground gained out of Hcklbrry. That's not going to be easy for Toronto to beat, even with 4 minutes on the clock.
It would have been a lot better had they had extra time, of course, but reaching that point, at least something. 3:41 left for Toronto in the attack.
Well, it's up to Toronto now. They're at this point. It's up to them. If they can push fast to win, great. They qualify through. If they tie, it feels bad, man. But you're not going to tie. You're going to win or lose on this point.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to attempt what we just saw, like that actual execution, not everyone falling off the side.
Humans who live here are fools to trust only.
Yeah, I'm not. I really like that. That's all kinds of question marks. Like that was a. I feel like a. You know what I would call a push like that?
What?
The Lemony Snickets, because that was an unfortunate set of events.
There is an unfortunate event. I would say, I don't even know if there's a word for this, but I've had this feeling before, okay? Like, maybe you're not the best on your team, like you play like soccer or something, and your team's like, okay, we're going to make a decisive team strategy, and we're all going to run forward, and you're the slowest runner. I feel like, as a Zarya player, I would try and run with my team over to this point, and then Winston's on the high ground, and I don't know, Lucy gets to the high ground, and I'm just left far back. I'm probably the one that gets pushed off the ledge.
Come back to me!
I feel absolutely useless. I just feel like that would be me every single time. I would not want to execute this strategy, basically. But I have complete faith most of the time in pro teams. Other than that one, as you said, series of unfortunate events.
Alright, well, Toronto eSports coming in strong and fast. Looks like they are going to go just straight down the middle. No shenanigans, no side action. Ice Wall's kind of nice, but it also separates some of their team. As we see, Winston just jumps up there on the high ground right away. But with Pi Hero waiting to jump down and get some kills with that Reaper, everyone's got to be careful. He's got a lot of damage. Diva decides to get up there, try to push him off. Avast going to be hopping around that Lucy trying to stay alive. Meanwhile, Winston frozen on the ground. So much going on in this small period of land.
No one's actually dead yet. Finally, Pyro goes down to the Winston. Genji is going to try and get top of that Mei, but she does shield block. Lazy Core on the D.Va takes out the Winston now.
Yeah, with Arc still alive, though, he's going to have some nice heals. We got, of course, Anna shooting snipes, but is that going to be enough for their damage? Genji's got that shield. He's almost ready to go with an ultimate, too. If he unleashes the Dragon Blade, he's going to easily pick up a lot of kills on the squishy characters remaining.
Zarya was fairly strong with the boost and a lot of energy. She didn't find anyone, or a lot of people rather, but along with the team able to push back Hcklbrry, and they're going to get the objective. It took them a bit of time, though. I want to say that was a full minute.
It was, but 2.5 to push this next point's not too bad. Genji's got his ult ready to go. Lazy Core's got his ult ready to go, and D.Va to really just clear out any location.
I think it's a full minute more than Hcklbrry had.
I will say the Hcklbrry, speaking of which, they got some really good ult combinations themselves. You got Lucius, you got Maze, you've got Zarya's. These are all really good defensive cooldowns.
They definitely can hold again. They can force the payload to stop moving. So
should be able to, at least. See if they actually can. In practice, sometimes a little bit more difficult. We got that Mei ult coming down.
Yeah, very nicely done. She kind of got in a little bit from behind, so forced the entire team to retreat.
I
get so many kills, though, and she ended up dying herself.
I'm not positive, but I think D.Va also just ate the Zarya ult.
Oh, okay. So missed that. The Zarya ult from their team goes down, though. Boost on the Reinhardt and...
Oh, no! Reinhardt does so much damage when open swinging like this, too, so it just clears out everybody off the team. Yikes.
It's really funny. The Genji, even though he was boosted as well, just was not going to tango with the boosted Reinhardt. Takes him out eventually. Just dodged and weaved until they were both done and over with. But a little bit of funny dynamic happening there, and Toronto continues pushing.
I want to point out, Lazy Core still has his ult ready to go, so clearing people off that tunnel, that's going to be the easiest thing to do to make way, make room, and just say, clear out, we need to get this push. If they get to that gold box, guys, it's all over, and Hcklbrry really has to pull all the stops here. They don't have an Ana ult to pair with that Reaper. Pi Hero's ready to go, but he's not going to have the damage boost that he wants to. There's that D.Va ult to push him back, crack the shield.
Alright, just soaking everything they can. They gotta stop him right here.
Genji comes from behind, but just darts right back.
Ultimates. There's the Earth Shatter.
And Pi Hero does get some pretty good heals. Lazy Core a little bit late to the party with that soak. Does manage to soak up the hits, but not quite on overtime. They can actually afford to die here. They got one really big push, and they gotta go to the other, and they gotta do it fast. So that payload's already backing up.
Yeah, exactly. I would say just like, you know, let everyone die, of course, so you can team together again for later. They have one very good push, and then maybe something on overtime after.
Yo,
Reinhardt's have that spawn point.
Reinhardt's got this Earth Shatter. This can make a world of difference when it comes to taking this fight inside the tunnel. He just has to make sure he doesn't hit it while the other Reinhardt has his shield up, or he's not going to get any kills. Genji goes in, Dragon Blade unleashed, gets that really good Earth Shatter. Genji cleaning up that backline, and they just have to push the payload. Oh, but here comes Reaper, Pi Hero. Ults flying all over the place, but looks like Toronto eSports is going to take the fight. If they can push it just a little bit further, that's going to be game!
Oh my god! Lucy's going to try and stop it. He's trying to wait, but who else does he have behind him?
Does it?
No one. That's it. GG's.
That was a really intense last fight of the game, and it came so down to the wire, but congratulations, Toronto eSports. We look forward to seeing you guys again for the main event.
Yeah, and of course the other team, hope to see them in the next qualifier, which will be next weekend.
Yeah, Hcklbrry for certain. I would love for those guys to come back. Oh wait, let's not get out of the game yet. We gotta see play the game. What am I doing?
But duh.
Daru. I don't think this is High Noon.
Shutdown.
Maybe?
I don't think so either. I think this is him.
Oh, it is, okay. He had a lot of really good non-High Noon moments. Like, honestly, Jaru got a lot of picks that I did not expect him to pick off. I look away for 1 second, boom, triple kills. Like, what?
So, first of all, Skype's doing that thing.
No, okay, we'll reset the call then. Fantastic. Yeah. In the meantime, though, while we get things restarted, we are going to duck out to commercial break while we get set up with Velociraptor Gaming and Nerd Rage, guys. Final match of the day. So one more best of 3 to conclude things. But as Hcklbrry joins us, I was just sending us off to that ad break. So any final comments on that series before we disappear for 2 minutes?
Yeah, I think that, you know, they actually added like a name to the play the games, right? You've seen that, right? Shutdown or
like
Healer or something like that. I think he shut down Lucio's ult, which is why he got it.
Nice.
That's what I was gonna say before Skype did its thing. Skype doing its thing, by the way, in Overwatch is like 10 times as worse than it does StarCraft. Sucks.
Alright, well guys, last series day, as stated before, it's going to be Nerd Rage versus Velociraptor Gaming. I'm super excited. I'm super stoked. Don't forget to check out the sponsors, guys, for this. bttv.ting.com. If you live in the United States, this applies to you. Look into saving some money with your phone bill each month. But like I said, we'll be back in a bit once the next series is ready to go.